First of all, thank you. I'm sorry for this time or this issue. Okay, what we would like to present here and is the CTC, as you know, the Centro for Tests, Ciências, and I would like to present what was the main motivation to present, to do or to create this infrastructure. Now we are passing. Okay, the slides. Okay. Now. As all you know, the climate changes as well, the anthropogenic pressures, population movements have increased the emergence of new infectious outbreaks of unknown risk. So and when this pandemic started, we had all the notion that it was a matter of time that it will come to Portugal. So also, something from the structural point of view that is interesting to know is that Portugal had been classified as a country of moderate risk based on the internal factors and a country of high risk based on the external factors. This mainly because we have a strong relationships with several countries that are classified as high-risk countries for the emergence of new threats and new biological threats. Clearly, the COVID-19 pandemic had demonstrated that we as a country are structurally unprepared to face these challenges. Indeed, I think one of the interesting things that we can, as a lesson that we can take from this experience, is that to have a fast response and an efficient response to the technological and process issues that typically we have to face to deal with for example, the emergence of infectious diseases, this can only be made with a well-prepared multidisciplinary team. And it was with that in mind that we created the CTC. As the values we have as a values social responsibility, quality, innovation, and collaborative networking. And it was based on these values that we create our mission, and our role will be to ensure the preparedness to health emergencies, as well to build economic and social resilience through science. Clearly that our aim, our vision is to be an international reference center for integrated risk management, as well as response setting to emergency of biological threats. So who we are a biosecurity and risk management initiative that right now is highly focused on the screening, diagnostic, and innovation for COVID-19. We have an installed capacity of 400 tests per day. We do diagnostic screenings and surveillance. We work with several institutions, and we have achieved a high level of certification. We are the second university lab in Portugal to achieve the certification of the Portuguese Health Regulatory Authority. We are also a member of the Portuguese Network of Laboratories for Diagnostics or Diagnosis of COVID-19. We are also an institution certified by NIH Ricardo Dias. We had built a containment biosafety containment system that had been recommended by the WHO, and that had helped us to achieve the status of member of the Global Outbreak Alert and Response Network from the WHO. We have also a clinical information management system that is the system that we have in place. It's the first and I think probably it will be the unique system that has been certified by the SPMES, the Shared Services of the Ministry of Health, and is the system that typically is used by the major hospitals in Portugal. So we try to do our best since the conception of this initiative, because clearly we had the notion that this must be done not only for COVID-19, but something forward, and to create an infrastructure that can give response to later issues as well as research. So regarding our timeline, we have a very short timeline and a very short story. It was at 16th of March that Faculty of Science took the decision that, okay, we must do something and let's go forward. And since that day, it had been a very crazy times. We started, first of the things we start to do, it was all the certifications, start to implement the methods, to do auto documentation for the certification process to the several institutions that we had to apply to. And then at the 1st of April, 1st or 2nd of April, we started to do a call for action for volunteers to help on CTC. We had a go live to 15th of May, but we had our certification at 27th of April, if I'm correct. And yeah, that time had been quite confused and very stressful times, as all you know. And on one day after we had the certification, I think we received a call from the cabinet that gives support to the Prime Minister, asking for a favor that we start operation at the 1st of May to process 150 samples from some emergency that they had here in Lisbon. So we had to do like a task a task force, and we had 24 hours to put everything running. We had also the help of the NIH, that was highly precious. And it was a day that we started at 8 of the morning, and we just end that day at 4 a.m. of the next day. So that was our first day of activity. Well, at 19th of May, we had already processed 1,000 samples, and now in September, we started to go on a professionalization process, and now we have a team that is working full-time at the CTC. Also, I would like to mention that our center had been also highlighted by the Lancet Infectious Diseases, also not only because of the effort that had been made, even on the national contest, but also and mainly because of the way that we look to the issue. That clearly we started to use a multidisciplinary team with volunteers, for example, from math, volunteers from informatics, of course from biologists also, and put all these people working together had been clearly our main goal and the main distinctive characteristics of our center. Okay, I have here just some pictures that show how this initiative had evolved. The first one was at the 27th of April, that when we got the certification from the NIH. Then the second picture had been the Wonder team that at the 4 a.m. Had finished the first job, and I would like to present the persons that are on the big picture. Margarida, from the left to right, Margarida, that is in charge of the testing, all the testing operation, and Amatus, that is a volunteer from NIH that had been help us. Claudio Stima, that is one of the volunteers and now is member of the full team that are crucial for all the operation. Me, Filipa, that is our COO, is the person in charge of all operations, and Marta Palma, that is one of the shift coordinators that had give a tremendous help on the boot up of this system. The third picture, it was when we processed the 1,000 sample. First picture from left bottom was when we had the audit from the military laboratory. Then when we had our first clinical collection setting, and the last picture was when we received the first samples from an hospital unit. And I use this picture, why? Because, well, the first times were completely chaotic. Even the hospitals send us all the information in labels, as you can see here. So for us, it was completely a mess when mainly you need to process hundreds of samples per day. And also, as a curiosity, the first picture that we have here, as in order you to understand the chaotic operation that we all had, this was a container that had been sent by the hospital with the samples, with the biological samples. So there was no containers available at the market. So we need to be creative. And in this case, the hospital sent us on a jar of banho de porco. But this was highly important, all these challenges, because when we start to face those, we perceived the opportunities also to go forward, and we started to digitalize all the process. And it was because also of these issues that we implemented, for example, the clean data, the system that we are already, the management system that we already have mentioned, that is the system that been validated by SPMS. So as a solutions, we have several solutions right now related to 4 different areas. To intelligent risk management, we have been developing with our partners intelligent algorithms to monitor risk, for example, and for prevention and mitigation, active surveillance, diagnostic and environmental testing, and also developing of new solutions or proof of concept of new solutions for the diagnostic as well as mitigation. As a partnerships, we have indeed, and we are associated to several projects since, for example, in the area of surveillance, we are part of a project that is Project Predict, that is a consortium of several hospitals that we had implemented several algorithms in order to disclose or to, well, it works like an early warning system in order to identify the outbreaks of COVID-19. Also, we are working at the quality of air, let's say. So we have a partnership with a private entity that we had developed a method. Well, we implemented, we didn't develop it, we implemented a method in order to monitor in real time the viral load of COVID-19 at the air, and also other initiatives in the area of diagnostics. From the internal point of view, we have also done several initiatives. The first picture illustrates one prototype that we have done for a novel way to extract RNA. The second picture shows some prototypes that we have done in collaboration with the Câmara Municipal de Lisboa for a new type of swabs. The third picture shows our equipment that we have, or technology that at the time, on the way that is implemented, probably we are the unique institution right now in Portugal that will help us to scale up our testing capacity till 10,000 samples per day. And at the same time, we can sequence the samples in order to understand the evolution of the COVID, or the SARS-CoV-2 strains. We had also developed or implemented other rapid tests, as well as transport or inactivation medium. Well, all of these have been only possible because of the volunteers, and I'm highly grateful to work on this project and to be part of this project. And I will give also to give a small tribute to all the volunteers that have been working with us at the past, at the present, and hopefully at the future. And when Faculty of Science had made the call as well with Ordem dos Biólogos, we received more than 300 applications. Of those, 72 were PhD members associated to research unities. And the most interesting thing is that more than 55% of those volunteers were not related to our universe, to co-universe. So they were mainly of other institutions such as Fundação Chapalimau, IST, Faculdade de Farmácia, FCT-UNL, IMHT, IMM, ITQB, as well from external institutions such as University of Brighton, Exeter, Oxford, as well Institut Pasteur. So it was a huge pleasure to be part of this wonderful team. Some of our partners, institutional partners, we work with some governmental institutions, such as the Ministério da Saúde, Ministério do Trabalho e Segurança Social. We are also part of a GUARN network of the WHO. And of course, we are working also with several hospitals along the country. And I would like to end this small presentation with a special thank to our coordination team. At this picture, we have from left to right, Gabriela Rodrigues, that is our current human resources manager. Rita Zilhão, that was our first human resources manager also. And I need to thank both a lot, because it's a very difficult task, very demanding. Also to Filipe, that is our operation manager, and Filipe has to work every single day with all the logistics to ensure that we have all the stocks, to ensure that the timings from the suppliers are going to happen, well, with all the interactions with our internal units at FCU. So it's not also an easy task. Then we have Mark Palma, and also from First of Right, we have Ana Caetano. Both they are our admin, our shift coordinators, and so they have done a huge work with our volunteers in order to ensure that everything was synchronized. And me and Margarida, that is our technical coordinator or technical director, that is in charge also of the testing operation. So in order to end this small presentation, I would like only to give this final tribute to our volunteers. And we use typically a hashtag. I don't know if probably Dan Martin is going to talk about it, but typically all communication, we use this hashtag that is Juntos Somos Mais Fortes, because clearly this initiative has been only possible by the huge effort of all these crazy people. Well, that's what I have to present to you, and thank you so much for your time.